Part 1. The Keep. Chapter 1. Spring 1979. The door clicked softly. Victor hesitated for an instant by the elevator, long enough to hear its lumbering progress far below. He turned abruptly and raced down the 18 flights of stairs. He was late, as always. The bus stop was just across the street. Considering what most Muscovite commuters had to contend with, he felt himself lucky to be able to get to work in less than 45 minutes. The location of his apartment was enviable, near the Moscow Ring Road and next to a large park. A pleasant setting. It was on the top floor of a new building, one of several in a complex. The buildings were only 9 stories tall, so by Moscow standards the area on that edge of the park was relatively uncrowded. However, the park was quite a magnet for those who lived in the surrounding district, and on weekends people came from as far as 10 bus stops away. There aren't many stores around, but there's little or nothing to buy in suburban shops anyways. Theaters and concert halls were inconveniently far, but Victor was finding less and less time for that anyways. And he certainly couldn't stop now to enjoy the beautiful late spring morning. He sprinted across the street and managed to scramble onto the departing bus, barely winded even after the stairs and the dash for his ride. At 33, he was in good shape. His stop was midway between the terminals of Route 165, metro stops Galushaika and Yugo-Zapadnaya, both of them commuter destinations. Getting on the bus was generally not a problem, and this morning was no exception. He squeezed gently between the well-padded lady holding a large Puma sports bag and a snoozy middle-aged man with a lusty whiff of last night's party on his breath. Victor even managed to unfold the newspaper for the ride. Yeah, Pravda or something? The Central Community newspaper, of course. It was necessary, essential even, for him to be up on the latest news even before entering his office, or rather to be aware of the nuances in the latest interpretation of the news. How did that story go? A new prison inmate is asked why he's in jail. For not reading the morning paper, comes the response. What? All I did was walk into my office one morning. The party organization secretary came in, looked at the Politburo portraits on the wall, and asked sternly why I hadn't removed the picture of the stupid one. I asked, which one? When is that? Oh, nice. I hadn't read the paper yet, and here I am. Well, with a line like that, what do you expect? And if you can hear that in the background, that's my brother. The punchline barely concealed the warning. Victor opens his paper. He skimmed the first page and then the last. The magazine consisted of 6 pages. On the front page was the major political news, editorials on the important political campaigns, and decrees of the party Central Committee. While many of those in any position of power regarded the magazine as boring, for anyone connected to the realm of power it was a must. It actually contained a great deal of information if one knew how to read between the lines. Although the articles were written in officialese and developed during the post-revolution period, in every article there lurked a subtle Aesopian guide to the party's latest position on the issues of the day. The paper provided clues for the correct trimming of one's political weather vane, to align it safely within the treacherous winds of a party line. The last page contained the regular sports and news as well as miscellaneous tidbits worthy of the magazine's attention. Nothing was included by chance, so Victor had to pay attention. The bus came to a stop at the Belyaevo metro station, the point of origin for Victor's 25-minute train ride. It was still possible to find a seat on the train at this station. Those down the line had to commute the hard way, jammed in and standing up. But it was a common courtesy in Moscow public transport to give up one seat to the elderly, the handicapped, and to women, in that order. Victor didn't even bother to sit. Instead, he just took a comfortable stance in the corner. He unfurled his newspaper again and began a closer perusal. Nothing new this morning. The inside pages really were boring. The train was absolutely packed by the time it pulled into the Kulzinski Most station at the center of the capital, where a thick stream of white-collar commuters poured from each side of the sliding doors. Like ants, the crowd separated into several smaller streams, and Victor followed along with the largest one. His brisk 3-minute walk via the shortcut took him through 3 consecutive inner courtyards into Dzerzhinsky Street, so narrow that he could see only the granite wall of the first 2 floors of the building opposite. He crossed to an oak door with a permanently curtained window. A small sign indicated entrance 3, if I can speak here. Once he had shown his pass to the security guard in military uniform, Victor went through another door into a small, dark lobby where a crowd was waiting for the elevators. Exercise first thing in the morning helped him wake up. He lopped up the 6th flight of a dark, very unfriendly stairway that wound around the elevator shaft, pushed open a heavy oak door, and strode about 100 feet along the 40-floor corridor to another, more formal and lighter stairway across the lobby from entrance 4, quickly up the remaining 7 flights. The door had a plate with only a number on it. All the doors in the building, except for the bathrooms marked simply M and W, had only 3-digit numbers on them. The first digit indicated the floor. The other 2 meant nothing in particular. Victor approached the one numbered 728 and began to work the electronic combination lock. 7 and 3 punched together, hold the 7, release the 3, and punch 2. The lock released. Victor pushed the door open and entered another corridor with 5 doors down each side. His was the second door on the right. It was unmarked. He opened it and entered. Victor looked up at the pair of large clocks on the wall. It was 6:07 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 9:07 a.m. Moscow. KGB Major Viktor Shemov was ready for another day's work.